sits in the hot seat on the circular currency dealing desk, surrounded by the dealers of the other currencies.
I think cable will lead the way down again today. Cable down to dollar mark to 306. What is that? Check.
Barclays treats its dealers differently to the American banks. They get no commission, but then they aren't sacked if they get it wrong. Just a gentle push sideways.
Sorry?
75.80
sometime this week, but it's a matter of time.
75.80.
But they're still hungry to make money. Working with tiny margins on hundreds of millions, these 8 young men squeeze every penny they can out of the market. Last year, Barclays Bank made over £100 million profit just from foreign currency dealing.
It was lower, much different.
Let's say 25.
At the start of the day, all the banks in the world are party to the same information. It's a question of whether you make the best use of the information during the day. Doesn't look like there's much of a trend at the moment, so as I say, we'll just play the market on people's positions, really, and take a bit of profit out of it.
That still means bashing the pound this morning. So with London still mostly asleep, he calls Barclays Hong Kong on his computerised dealing screen. What's cooking, he asks. And he then tells them that he wants to sell some sterling. And the amount? 10. Their shorthand for £10 million. Barclays Hong Kong spread the word, trying to tempt other banks into buying. It's early afternoon, and William, flush from his morning success, is a likely candidate. He decides to call Barclays London direct to find out their latest price.
Cable, chemical, Hong Kong, 49.54.
In London, Richard quotes a competitive price to tempt William into buying. And William falls for it, buying £5 million.
Lose 5.
5 million of Barclays pounds have just travelled to chemical Hong Kong. As Richard sells more, the price falls. And within 10 minutes, it's down ½ a cent. The £5 million that William bought is now worth £20,000 less. In this small duel, Richard has scored. William is gracious in recognising a competitor's skill.
Well, it's a good deal. It's quite good.
Why do you say that?
Well, sometimes you can see a scream, he can lead the market.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning in London, and the world is quiet. No coups, no assassinations, no new crises to rock the currency markets. Now Richard's boss, Chris Pavlou, has arrived.
I fancy a big one sandwich, don't you? Come on, man. You're big one sandwich. I'll have a decent cup of coffee. Okay? Yeah, a decent cup of coffee. Are you going to organise it then?
Chris Pavlou used to be one of the world's biggest sterling dealers, but now, pushing 40, he knows he's too old for the game that he loves.
There's nobody on that desk. It's over 35. People start in their early 20s for about 10 years, and by the time they reach their very early 30s, they had about enough. As you can see now, the market is having a small breather, but the dealers cannot afford to lose their concentration for 1 minute. They started at 7 o'clock this morning, and they're going to be here at 5 o'clock. And the market, whether it's quiet or busy, they've got to keep their adrenaline going. They've got to make sure the concentration is there, just in case the market decides to erupt.
Now, with Richard's opening gambit over, an even bigger player is entering the market, trying to buy £20 million with its Deutschmarks. Perhaps it needs these millions to buy a lot of British goods, but more likely the Russian, otherwise known as Boris, in reality the Bank of Foreign Trade Moscow, is speculating that the pound will rise. Richard calls Moscow direct to find out what's going on, prefacing his message with the customary, "Hi, friends." They could easily be bluffing him. They could be buying a little to push the price up before selling a lot.
This might be the right time. John, I think the Russians buying sterling marks elsewhere now.
But Richard guesses that they must be buying from other banks too, in a big operation, as the pound begins to rise.
Thanks. Hear that? Richard thinks Boris is buying sterling marks elsewhere.
So he decides to risk jumping on their bandwagon, using the other traders to ring out and get prices so they can hit the market with tens of millions as quickly as possible.
50-55.
We're going to go and buy a bit of sterling. Looks like everybody in the market might be a bit short of sterling. It doesn't want to go down.
58-63.
Take 5.
His first £5 million, and with each wave, he buys another 5 million.
67.
Quickly, it's going to go up in a second.
68.
A grimace as the price rises.
57-64.
Take 5.
65.
57-64.
Take 5.
What positions am I running for? 58-63.
Take 5.
58-65.
Take 5. That'll do.
67-72.
That'll do.
He's bought £35 million.